everyone, it's Lindsay and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my September wrap-up. If you are new to my wrap-ups, this is just simply where we hang out, we chat, I tell you guys about all of the reading, writing, and life-related stuff that happened to me in the previous month. And then in the comments, you tell me about your month. I just so happen to have this little baby book come out, and she's available now if you want to buy her. Just saying. I also made a lot of progress on Bitter Bones, my current work in progress, and I got obsessed with a new massive adult SFF series. Oh, and I also bought a lot of Squishmallows because, like, this is who I am. So first off, let's start with writing, and obviously we're gonna start with the odds. She released! She's out in the world! She's out terrorizing the local villagers, and I could not be a more proud mother. I had a wonderful launch party, which I vlogged. You can watch it here. I'll link it down below. I also made an annotated copy that I'm going to be giving away in the following weeks, which was so fun, and in that video I did a lot of like behind the scenes Easter eggs type information. I also got asked by Books of Wonder to do a panel with them and a bunch of other amazing authors. It was incredible. All right, let's move on to Bitter Bones. Let's chat about him for a little bit. Bitter Bones is my next middle grade that I'm currently working on. I'm halfway through the first draft. It is a middle grade horror, and it's creepy and it's fun, and it's got creepy dolls and cults and goth icons and hopefully a good twisty mystery at its core, and I love it. So at the end of September, I was 18 out of 37 chapters done, which means I was 52% of the way through the first draft. In between the chapters, I am also adding in little excerpts, and I got 4 of those excerpts done this month, as well as 4 chapters. So a total, like I said, 18 out of 37 chapters done and 6 out of the 8 excerpts done. Bitter Bones, man, he's just trucking right along. I'm gonna be trying to finish him in the month of October because I want to take November and work on my YA thriller social horror. Miss her so much, but we'll see where we get. Now let's transition and let's talk about some reading. In the month of September, I read 16 books. You can see them all here. And as you can see, I read a lot of James S.A. Corey, which I think is the perfect segue into talking about my new love, my new obsession, my sweet cheese, my round town gal, the Expanse series. This was one of the books that was on my Goodreads TBR for over 3 years. And I have this little personal goal that if I've got a book that's been on the Goodreads TBR for more than 3 years, in that calendar year, I either need to read it or I need to delete it and move on. Starting at the beginning of the year, I think I had 13 books that I was going to still try to read because I was still interested in them, and the first book in the Expanse series, Leviathan Wakes, was on there. And I am so glad that I read it and didn't delete it, because I am now 5 books deep into this series and I am in it. We're having a space girl moment. We are in our adult space opera era, if you will. I used to think I hated sci-fi, and I think that was just because I never read it. But then I started reading it and I was like, wow, this is actually really intense. I like it. It's a crew and they find something in space that they shouldn't have found, and it starts a whole bunch of shenanigans. I think it's the pacing that gets me. It's so well done, and I think I'm also so intrigued by it because, like, space is kind of scary. Like, I don't mess with the oceans, I don't mess with outer space. Everything in those 2 places just wants to kill you. So I think the fear adds like a little bit of extra intrigue because I'm just like, woo! But yeah, been obsessed. Read the first 5 books. Also read all of the novellas and short stories available like up to that point. I'm in it, guys. I'm in it. I want to chat about 2 other books that I really enjoyed this month that were kind of like standouts for me. The first one is Skandar, The Last Unicorn Thief. If you're in the middle grade reading sphere, I mean, I'm really late to the game with this one. Everyone's loving this. It's basically like British magical training camp, but instead of learning to become like a witch, you're learning to become a thestral writer. Like, from Harry Potter, thestrals, like that's what the unicorns are in this world. They're like dark and creepy and dangerous and like voracious flesh eaters. It's actually quite dark for middle grade, and I very much so enjoy it. And maybe it's just the audiobook narrator. He has a very like calming, nice voice, and he has a British accent as well. And of course the story is set in England, so there's a lot of like Britishisms in it that just feel very comforting. The plot is also incredibly engaging. Like there's always something happening, and I really enjoy that. The next book I have is Yesterday Crumb and The Storm in a Teacup. It was pitched to me as like witches and tea magic. Also, this little girl lives in a circus, which I like those things in my middle grade settings, but I would say it's a very young middle grade. Like this would be the perfect book to read to like a 6 or 7-year-old as they go to sleep at night. Like this is just It's so freaking cute. This girl escapes from this terrible circus that she's been a prisoner of, basically, and finds out that she is actually a fae child with the potential to become a tea witch. She is adopted by basically, like, imagine a mix of Jupiter North from the Nevermore series and Galinda from The Wizard of Oz. This like kooky bubblegum pink fairy lady. She adopts yesterday into her tea shop and is like, hey, I'll take you to be my apprentice. And good old-fashioned chaos ensues. It's got all types of the kookiness that I really just love in middle grade, but in a very soft, happy way. Also, there's like a lot of tea, and I love tea. And the teapots are enchanted, and there are things called tea fairies that just like kind of float around and help you make your tea. It's really, really cute. All right, now I quickly want to go over some current favorite lifestyle goodies. First of all, this month I was preparing for spooky season, okay? And I got some really cute shirts off of Etsy. And like, I wore this to death when I first got it. I think I wore it like 4 days in a row without taking it off, and it became really dirty and gross. But like, I didn't even care. Corpses are dirty and gross, and they're on brand for the season, so. I also got this one, adorable design. And then this one I got last year, but I've also been wearing it pretty much nonstop. And I will continue to wear it nonstop until probably sometime in November, to be honest. I will link the Etsy shop down below just in case you want to buy some yourself. Now this is kind of weird for me, this next thing, because I'm normally just a very basic girl when it comes to my drinks. I like ice water, I like black coffee, and I like tea with nothing in it. But I've been following a lot of people recently who have been getting into these drinks, and they're not that bad for you. Here's the thing, I don't like super sugary stuff, and I don't like stuff with like a ton of chemicals in it. So I'm kind of hesitant when people start talking about energy drinks. But recently I've been getting into Alani. People are saying these are like health energy drinks. Like, they've got a lot of vitamins and minerals put inside of them. There's no sugar, barely any calories, and they taste incredible. They've got like, I think the caffeine comes from like green tea, so it's not gonna give you like that really bad crash that like a Monster or 5 Hour Energy would. I don't know. I'm not trying to pitch them to you. I'm not even trying to say they're healthy. It all started because they came out with this flavor called Witch's Brew, and it's basically like those caramel apple pops. That's what this tastes like. It's like actually sour. Because I have anxiety disorder, I can only drink like half of these at one time because I'm not trying to get like sent to the hospital. But they are fun, they do taste good, and they're a nice little boost of energy around like 3-4 o'clock when I start to lag. And the last thing I'm going to talk about today is my Squishmallows. I'm still collecting a few of the Halloween ones that I've been desperately looking for. First of all, Geo. Been looking for him all season. He is this adorable little gargoyle. I can't. I also think I'm going to start a mini dragon collection because I actually have so many dragon Squishmallows that it just makes sense at this point. This is Shazad. He's a stage director, and every now and then burps fireballs. Can you guys hear Chauncey snoring behind you? I also got Joanna, who is this adorable little cauldron. And then I saw this guy and I absolutely needed him. The Grim. I don't know if you guys are Simmers, but the Grim Reaper is like one of my favorite characters in The Sims, and I was like, yes, need. And then okay. I'll admit it's a bit early, but I mean, is it? Is it? I got this eggnog Squishmallow named Joyce. Is she not the beautifulest burst of dopamine you have ever seen in your life? And last but not least, we have Octave. Given his beautiful neutral coloring, I'm actually using him as a pillow in our living room because this is where we are now. His bio says that he's living his best life when he's sitting in a hot tub and gossiping with his friends, and like, same. Alrighty guys, so that was it. That was my September. It was quite busy. I'm really excited for October to kind of like chill out a bit now that, you know, the odds is out. But now that I'm thinking about it, no, it's not chilling out because I have to finish Bitter Bones this month. I'm literally only halfway through the book, so I'm writing half of a book this month. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget, it's spooky season. It's the perfect time to read the odds and the Glass Witch both. Order links are always down below. With that being said, I will bid you adieu and leave you with the haunting image of how Chauncey's been sleeping behind you this whole time. Eyes wide open. The horrors are real, folks, and they live among us.